Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello everyone!
Hello!
Another episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast. Hypecast.
It's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I am your other co-host, David Bell.
And a third person.
And there's a third person. Who is it?
Yeah,
Who's
it's
the
me,
third
Alex
person?
Schmidt. It's so good to be here. I love the show. It's always good to be here.
Alex!
Yes. Guys, thank you.
Thank
How
you,
you
man.
doing?
I'm doing great. I was just saying off mic, I did my first trip in a long, long time. Went to Iowa. And it was, safe flying, it felt like, and it was good. Good trip.
Oh, yeah. Doing that Iowa trip.
Yeah. That's very interesting to me, a person who didn't just hear you tell that story.
Yeah. Congratulations
That's true.
on
Maybe I should have
flying.
pivoted to a whole different story.
No.
And everything's on fire.
We do it all
I don't
the
know.
time.
No,
we
it's
do
their
it all
fault.
the time.
It's their fault for not being here before we started recording.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Honestly.
Yeah.
True fans.
Hey, people
would've been.
listening. The fuck? What the fuck, people?
Yeah. What are you doing?
fucked up.
Sitting there
Yeah.
with your earbuds or whatever.
You know, other story, more relevant. I saw my first movie in a theater like a week and a half ago.
Oh, what movie?
Cruella.
Okay.
Oh.
It's
okay.
totally fine.
How was it?
It really, it's like, I didn't expect a lot, and it like baseline holds together pretty much throughout, and was enjoyable.
It's a good review.
Yeah. No, it's
It holds together. No, I've heard it's fine.
Yeah,
we've talked
it's all right.
about it a little bit. For me, it was one of those movies that was like frustrating because there's like a pretty good movie in there if it didn't have to waste time being a Cruella prequel.
Sure.
But yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably true.
just like a cool one-off movie about some a woman from kind of the lower class getting into a fashion war with the upper class baroness would have been cool
Right.
with the same sensibility and aesthetic and stuff because the movie looks really cool. Anyway,
It's a good
Right.
director.
it is a good director, yeah.
Ooh, I watched something I want to share. I watched the first episode of Star Trek Picard,
Oh,
and it was
Season one?
not great. Yeah, season 1.
yeah. Actually, I
Have
haven't
you guys
seen it.
watched?
No.
Yeah, you don't have to.
No, why
You
on
guys
earth?
don't have to
Why
see
on
it.
earth, Dave? Would I?
I don't know. I've been meaning to, morbid curiosity and all that.
Sure.
And I don't know, man. I don't remember what happens in the episode.
It's like
but
that.
it seemed
it's
alright.
like that myth where it's like you can walk your loved one out of Hades as long as you don't turn around and look at her.
Yeah, Star Trek Picard is just like
yeah,
that.
it's like after a while you're just like, God, I gotta turn around and look.
Yeah. Yeah, that was what it was. Is I now have Paramount Plus, so I was like, all right,
Yeah,
I guess I'll watch. I'll watch this.
I watched the console wars before canceling my free trial subscription. That's after we watched Infinite last weekend.
Yeah. Alex, have you seen Infinite?
No, is that Mark Wahlberg?
It is.
I think I saw a
Yeah.
trailer on YouTube. Like before
That's
something
probably
else.
it. Yeah, that's more than enough.
That's the
In
kind, that's the
terms
kind
of watching that.
That is the exact kind of movie it is. Is the I think I saw a trailer for that on YouTube. That's like
Yeah.
that's it.
Great.
Speaking of trailers, let's get down to business.
All right. Well, first we have some producers that we need to
That's
shout
business.
out. That is business.
Yeah.
Business
You're right.
that can be gotten down to.
and one of them is Mark Wahlberg. Oh no!
Oh,
We should
no!
talk to him. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, we already lost Mark Wahlberg.
I decided to be a producer on your show, and you're going to talk about my movie like that. That's really not cool. I don't know why you would do that to me.
It's all right. We still have all the other Wahlbergs.
Anyway,
all
check
the
out
Wahlbergs love
this
us.
laminated card with Texas's Romeo and Juliet law printed on it.
God damn it! I only saw that movie once.
What happens in it?
I don't remember.
It is a scene in the film. Anyway,
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we see it together, like in Santa Monica?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we
Yes.
saw. Is that the fourth one?
it's the
God.
fourth one. That is
Damn it.
Transformers: Age of Extinction. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna have some Transformers news coming up, but 1st let's thank some producers. Starting with Del Griffith, the shower curtain fella. Thank you. Thank you to Lef. Thank you to Seismic Charge Noise. Thank you to Jake. Thanks, Jake. Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcano Coniosis Jones. Thank you for that, Mr. Jones. Thank you to the baby from Eraserhead.
Always.
Yeah, always and forever. Thank you to Chiz Lily Tits.
Woo.
Thank you. Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue. Thank you to Breezy Ruizy. Thank you. Thank you to Davey Francis for The Revenge. Thank you to MVB.
All right, let me
Woo.
yeah. Let me swoop in here real quick and take care of the rest of these names. Thank you to Chester's Prophet. Thank you
Thank
to Definitely Not Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Thank
you to Bob
Brian.
Grenville.
Thank
Thank you
you.
to Steven. Thank
Steven,
you to Down
thank
Home
you.
Chicken.
Peacock.
Thank you to Han Toomey, the Confused Cyborg.
Thank you.
Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Hey Fuck You, I'm Happy Ed.
Thank
Thank you to Dracula, the bus driving vampire.
Thank you, Count.
Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Woo.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Oh, man. Oh, beans and grapes, this first trailer.
Yeah. Well, so I'm very pumped about this lineup. It's not all gold here, but it's all interesting.
Yeah.
This was doing the rounds. This is the trailer for Karen. What thoughts?
This, I think you nailed it pretty well. In the notes here you have written, oh wait, no, that is you. Yeah, in the notes here you have written that this looks like a Funny or Die sketch, which is like a lot of the comments I'm seeing and reactions to this trailer. It's a movie about a Karen. A young black couple moves into a neighborhood. One of their neighbors is a white lady, literally named Karen, who starts behaving like a Karen. And it strikes me as like, when they did Lakeview Terrace, which was which was like an updated version of Unlawful Entry, essentially to make it more of like a racially charged conflict between a racist police officer and the new mixed race couple that moves in the neighborhood. In terms of, this is like the most blunt force, unsubtle thriller that you could possibly do about this particular topic.
It's not even like subtly about anything.
No.
It's just about the thing.
It's just about the thing that we've all been joking about for the past 2 or 3 years. And, not
Right.
just joking about, there's actual violence and tragedy associated with this behavior. But, like, this is, like I said, this is like the blunt force, unsubtle version of this movie.
Yeah, it really the trailer made me really reappreciate Get Out, because this whole subject is such a real thing and a real pain, and so the artistry of Get Out makes it like workable as a film and makes it a great film, But if you just put what's happening on the screen with like some horror movie tropes, that sucks. It's a really unpleasant experience.
It's so lazy and pandering. Like, Get Out.
I just real quick wanted to insert a quick comment that is it seems like kind of like a little old man yelling at cloud, but like I've been going through a lot of samples for freelance, film writer applications for various outlets that I work for, and this is like a real problem. It just people that, or like
white people,
an extremely superficial grasp of everything.
Oh,
if
you mean,
that does that make sense?
People are pitching you premises. It's that they
that's
understand
like
the world
that's like
yes,
a lot of exactly. That's like a lot of the things that I've been reading from new and up and coming writers is stuff that is only able to engage with movies and television on an extremely superficial level, which is what this is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And this is like analysis. It's people who want to write about movies.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Get Out and a lot of movies coming out right now, like the whole thing is they slow roll you. Like Get Out, when I went to watch that, I didn't know what it was about, and then you become like really delighted and surprised by what it actually becomes. Where you're like, oh shit, this is a whole thing. Yeah, this is just so really just. Lazy is the word for it. It's one of those things where like the entire internet came together to be like, this is dumb. And I feel like maybe everybody has maybe different reasons why it's dumb, but it comes down to how opportunist and obvious it is. Where it's
it clearly has nothing to say.
Right. Yeah, it's like someone rushed this script.
It's like a Jaws sequel. It's like so lowest common denominator obviousness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I feel like it's like it's two terrible kinds of movies at once. It's a movie that's just ripping off somebody else's hit but much worse. Right? Like somebody else makes a terrible animal attack movie after Jaws. And then the other thing is that they're just like saying nothing about a really painful, really real thing that no one wants to sit through on a screen for no purpose. You want to gain something or experience something.
And I think on top of it, the Funny or Die sketch aspect is that it's not just that the idea is like a sketch. The execution in this trailer feels
like a sketch,
hammy. Yeah, it's over the top. The performances are dumb. The Karen character, they've made her such a two-dimensional character.
And the escalation is like sketch comic escalation.
Yeah.
It's such an exercise in obviousness.
Right.
Yeah. I even from the tweets I saw, I sort of expected the trailer to be like more hilariously low grade, or something. But it was just kind of poorly done in a normal way.
Bad.
I was not laughing at how bad it was. I was like, oh, it's just one of these. Okay.
Run-of-the-mill bad.
Yeah, it's just one of these.
And then, I mean, some of the shit on top of it, the fact that it looks, if you look at the poster, it's like a horror movie poster that just looks, again, like a parody. It just looks like a fucking parody through and through. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's just that it's like, it's an exhausting trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the people behind it. It just...
all I will say is that I'm embarrassed for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it
was
wasn't...
bummed out. Isn't there a bumper on the front that says it's like a BET original film or something? I don't know. I was bummed.
I believe so.
BET didn't do it better.
It feels like it could have been a script that someone wrote and then they rewrote it hastily to make it this Karen thing. But like Karen is already it's already a meme that came and went. It feels like right?
And this stripping that element of that topical element away. This is a pretty boilerplate Stepford Wives suburban creepiness thriller, right? Like it's pretty standard. Oh, there's a seemingly nice neighbor. Something's off with her. That's a familiar premise.
Yeah, like you said, it's like Lakeview Terrace.
Yeah.
Although I only watched that once, but that was
fine,
the real
that
was like the real mid 2000s where they're like, what if we reversed it?
Yeah.
Because it's Samuel Jackson as the racist cop, And it just reminds me of fucking the Guess Who remake
Yeah,
where
well,
they're like, what if we reversed it? And it's like, well, then you sort of miss a lot of the point. But
the original Unlawful Entry isn't even really about racism. It's about a cop who's like obsessed with the wife. He's a deranged sex pest.
And that's where the good idea is, which is just simply cops are scary.
Yeah.
You know? And so, like, yeah, we've had thrillers based on that, and it's effective. But again, done like this, it just feels so cynical.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're playing off of real fears to make a buck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie. What if it's amazing?
It's not.
It's hard to think that it's amazing based on this trailer.
Dave, it is not. There is simply no way it is amazing.
Oh yeah, no. I can't imagine a way that it's amazing. I'm just saying.
Well,
right.
The only way it could be amazing is if they were specifically playing off our expectations of what it was going to be. And then they actually had something to say,
right?
But I doubt that.
As if we sit down to watch it, and it's a completely different film with none of the footage they showed us in this trailer actually in
exactly.
it. That's how it's amazing.
Yeah. If it's just the director lecturing people about why would they come to see the movie that was advertised.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Everyone look down at themselves and think long and hard about what they've done.
Right.
There was because of when you called it kind of like a Funny or Die sketch before, it's a really old sketch. Have you ever seen the one where it's called like Gungan Style? And it initially seems to be a Gangnam Style parody about Gungans and the Star Wars prequels. Mm-hmm. Because it's the sketch they did where it initially seems to be that, and then it just completely like takes a step back out of the sketch, and you follow the maker of it, like wondering what his purpose is in life and if he's wasting his time. And it's a total flip rug pull thing. This movie would have to be that. It would have to be. It starts out as making this movie, and then you're in the video village, and the director rethinks it all. You know that would have to be it.
It just suddenly launches into his ennui over, my God, what sort of cog in the machine have I become?
Yeah. That's a great sketch. I got to check that out.
We should move on.
Yes.
All right. Well, the next trailer is for The Harder They Fall. This came out today,
I think, or yesterday.
This has just so many amazing actors.
Yeah, it's like the fucking what whiplash to go from Karen to this. Like, this is a movie that I simply cannot wait for and looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be real weird when they both play at the same
cast.
drive-in as a double feature. Boy, oh boy. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird time.
It's got
Wild
fucking...
evening. You just go home feeling drunk after that.
On the subject of Get Out, it's got what is his name? Lakeith Stanfield. Zazie Beetz, Idris Elba. They're all rescuing... when the safe opens and Idris Elba pops out, I was like, fuck yeah. Regina King's in there.
Yeah, she's in there. Delroy
Lindo.
This cast is out of control. I don't care what they're... It's like a vague Western outlaw premise. It's the same Western town from Antoine Fuqua's Magnificent Seven remake. I would recognize that church anywhere.
Oh, yeah, which I also liked that remake.
It was fine, yeah. But, yeah, I will watch this cast do literally anything. So this movie looks like a ton of fun. I'm fucking on board for whatever it is.
Yeah, big shootout. Great.
Yeah.
Gunfire.
Yeah, it's... I'm looking up the people who made it. One of the writers did Max, that dog thing.
Oh, sure. Okay.
But also did Now You See Me and Now You See Me Too. It's a career screenwriter. Looking at his stuff, it's like, all right. He did From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money.
Sure.
Yeah.
Starring Robert Patrick.
Man. Texas Blood Money is a pretty good after the two and the movie title phrase.
Absolutely.
They had some... Dusk Till Dawn had some good... Like, part 3 is called, like, The Hangman's Daughter, and The Hangman's Daughter is Timura Morrison. Like,
yeah, amazing.
The direct-to-video Dusk Till Dawn sequels kind of rule.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah.
The other writer who's the director did a movie called They Die by Dawn, which is another Western with Rosario Dawson in it. So, like, fuck, I got to see that too now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Got like a whole evening ahead of me now.
Yeah, jeez. But yeah, this is like, I like the amount in which we're doing Westerns now. Like, it's not a resurgence of Westerns.
No, but we're getting
we're
more.
not. Yeah, we're not scared of them either.
Yeah.
We're doing them when we have an idea. So yeah, this looks, I don't know, super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like lightly Googled it, and apparently the main actors we know are all playing real black cowboys and black lawmen.
Oh, wow.
History.
I love
like
that.
the trailer's pretty wild. I don't know how historical the plot's going to be, but that's apparently
So it's like Young
the
Guns. So it's
skeleton
kind of
of
like
it.
Young Guns.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
That's
pretty cool.
wonderful.
Yeah, like Delroy Lindo is Bass Reeves, a famous
Right.
black
Oh, sure,
lawman.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think, do Westerns need to be historical? I don't think there's a single Western that is historically accurate.
I mean,
not a single
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Not really.
I don't care. They can walk on
No,
screen
that's
and
what
be
I mean.
like, "I'm
Yeah.
Wild Bill," and I'm like, "You sure are." And then they just have a
that-
Western that's cool.
That's what I mean. Is like, you really, like, we don't, who gives a shit about an accurate
Yeah, I mean, because it was
Western?
all like it's
They've
so,
accurate. Never been accurate.
it's
Not a
Yeah,
single
exactly.
one.
That period is so marked by like hearsay and reputation, and I mean even more so
Right.
than so it's just kind of like whatever people decided, whatever the local newspaper guy decided to write about some shootout to make it sell more papers. That's like the old
Yeah.
West. It's all all a lie. So whatever.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
of this shit. All right. Well, speaking of Idris Elba, the Suicide Squad new trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I did see the first one, and I was not super enthused by it, but it was also better than most of the DC movies I had seen. So I don't know. This is probably fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is James Gunn directing and writing, and that I think is. I don't think it's going to be anything like the first one, and it will in fact be a huge pushback. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Huge, pretty big departure. It's hopefully that's what the idea is. I mean, I'm on board. I like James Gunn. I like everything he did with Guardians. This looks fun. I'm at the point where I don't need to see any more trailers for this movie.
Yeah, I didn't really need to see a single trailer.
I didn't need to really see this one after the main one we got like a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
That like showed off Stallone as King Shark and then the big Starro fight. It's like I was already on board. Now there's simply no way I'm not seeing this movie.
Oh yeah, the one thing this trailer added for me that made me go ooh was a little information about the Weasel character
Oh yeah.
killing like 20 children. Which of course is being played by Sean
It's
Gunn.
one of his brothers. Yeah, it's the
Yeah, stood in for Rocket as well. That's just it's his
It's his
Ted
Ted
Raimi.
Raimi. Yeah, he
Yeah.
just puts his little brother in his movies,
Yeah,
usually in demeaning roles.
right. I think the person that this is going to matter the most for is Jai Courtney, right? Because Jai Courtney has not had a good time. He was in I, Frankenstein. You
forget
would
who
know
Jai
him
Courtney
from...
is.
He's
Yeah,
Captain
that's-
Boomerang in this movie.
Yeah, most people forget who Jai Courtney is.
Yeah, I forget who that is
and
too. Sorry.
Yeah, he was.
You're
I
fine.
guess what I'm getting at is Jai Courtney has been cast terribly in most things. He was in the Good Day to Die Hard as John McClane's son,
and like Terminator
his swole
Genesis.
son. Yeah, as a swole Kyle Reese. Everything they cast him in, I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And so to see him like I'm looking at his filmography, and it just really doesn't seem like he's had a shot to be in a good movie.
That's tough.
So like I don't know.
Tough break for Jai Courtney.
I'm excited for this. Is my point for him because I think
Yeah,
he's really got a.
He was one of my favorite things in the original one. Was just he's this shitbag Australian bank robber. That's
he's
it.
I think he's the best part of the original one.
He might secretly be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, good for him. Yeah, when you
mutton chops
inevitably
in it?
go.
I'm still trying to remember this guy.
Yeah, he had like a lot of facial
had, like,
hair, a beanie.
Yeah,
The teddy bear, right?
He had like
took
a
the
stuffed
teddy bear
animal.
or whatever.
Yeah.
He threw a lot of boomerangs, Alex. I don't know if you remember the boomerang quotient in that original film.
Yeah, all these Suicide Squad things. I feel like I'm supposed to be totally blown away by how outrageous it is, and I just feel like it's just kind of telling me how outrageous it is, you know? And he didn't knock my socks off or sear my brain with his wildness, you know? It's just kind of a guy.
I think that's the danger of James Gunn, is that he's now the guy where it's like, oh, so random and wild, and like they're clearly going to lean into that.
Yeah.
That's interesting because it's not really like being random and wild was never really his shtick.
Well, I was going to say, I think he's good. He makes good movies. I think more on the side of like marketing and producers now.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be pushed to constantly like he can't make anything serious from here on. I feel like people are just going to.
Oh God.
And maybe he doesn't want to. I'm looking at stuff he's writing. He's doing the screenplay for the Wile E. Coyote film.
That's the courtroom case one, right? The Coyote versus Acme or something.
Oh my God, it is, and it's directed by.
It's based on a New Yorker comedy piece from like the early '90s, where it's Wile E. Coyote. Wile E. Coyote is taking Acme to court because their shit keeps fucking him up.
Okay.
It's not a bad premise. I don't know how you make that a full movie. It's like a good idea.
Know.
It's a good idea for a comedy column, but
it's going to be the director of the good Ninja Turtles reboot, Out of the Shadows.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Who also did Earth to Echo, the film everybody remembers.
Mm-hmm.
But shit, now I'm really excited for that. That sounds out of its mind.
Yeah, that project's been. I think that's been kicking around for a few decades. I think in one form or another.
Any other thoughts on the Suicide Squad?
No, I see what Alex is saying. Is I am excited for this movie. I don't need to see any more trailers for it, but I do get the marketing is. A lot of this is starting to become almost pro wrestling, where it's just a bunch of dudes telling me how hardcore they are.
Yeah.
So, like, I can see that. Right. I can see that beginning to happen. Yeah.
I think with James Gunn, the thing that we have to be wary of is the people who are then going to try to copy this.
Oh, yeah.
And we might get some real stinkers.
The first Suicide Squad.
Right. So, and DC doesn't know what the fuck they want, so it's like... I can see more of this happening. You know, like Suicide Squad 2 or the Suicide Squad 2, if it's not James Gunn, that might be a real bummer when that comes out.
I mean,
someday.
let's wait for this one and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, this one's going to kill it, right? Like in the box office. There's no way this isn't going to succeed.
Probably. We'll see. We'll see how the numbers continue to shake out as the summer goes on.
All right. Well, let's talk about the big one, Eiffel.
Sure.
It's the big tower.
Yeah. This is a French movie.
Yeah, it's French as hell.
Making the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
It's like the single most French premise for a movie. What else would it be?
Just let's do anything for you guys.
It's Belgian, weirdly. No, I mean, the trailer looks. I've used the phrase boilerplate already, but this is very much like a boilerplate historical drama about some, capital letters, big important thing.
Right.
Yeah. And watching it, I definitely got the sense of, the trailer goes through all the same beats that all these movies do. But it did make me start thinking about how kind of crazy it is to just sit down and be like, we're going to build like a national monument and it's like it's a thing that's completely it's a completely indefensible expense at the time. Yeah. But like 60 years later is when you start to see dividends. Like, see, this really worked. This is like everybody. This is like the shorthand for our country. Everybody knows this symbol. It's become a big tourist thing for us. But like, you're decades away from that when you sit down to start just like, well, we're just going to build a monument and see how it goes. So yeah, I'd like much rather, maybe this movie goes into that, I don't know, but I really want a movie to just be about like that part of it where it's like, all right,
yeah,
we're either going to be legends or like the biggest doofuses in the history book.
Right.
It's either going to be the Eiffel Tower or it's going to be like Fulton's Folly. You know what I mean? For all you history nerds out there.
Yeah, I have nothing against the Eiffel Tower. I want to start with that. But a movie about it where they're like, oh, it can't be done. Oh, he did it. I'm just like, it's just metal.
Yeah, they did it
like just metal
twice.
beams.
Like there's one in Vegas. Like they've done this more than once now.
It's like, again, nothing against the Eiffel Tower. It just doesn't seem that impressive to build. That we need a movie about it. You know, it's not like making the Hoover Dam
or like
something.
The Golden Gate Bridge. They're trying to, and I'm sure all these architectural projects were like fraught with mishaps and issues and stuff, partially because you're building a giant metal tower in the 19th century. But yeah, it just seems like the stakes aren't quite building a gigantic suspension bridge above San Francisco Bay, for example.
It's like, what does it do? Oh, it just stands there. Does it have any walls? Not really. It's just a metal tower. Like, what happens if it collapses? Nothing really. Like, nothing's dependent on it. Like, it doesn't do anything.
Or so does it, so it's like, does it have any rooms? Oh, kinda.
Yeah, sorta. You can kind of get up in there.
Like one at the top. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't like use it for like office space. No, you wouldn't want to do that.
So what's like the maximum amount of time you'd spend it? I'll go like 10 minutes before you start really needing to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's like I'm just gonna make something tall that like people can fall off of. That's it. And again, nothing against the Eiffel Tower. It's nice looking. I just don't care about it getting made. They add like a romantic subplot in this trailer, and it's like, man, I definitely don't care about that. But I don't know. Maybe it's amazing.
The main thing that jumped out to me in this is that I watched like 2 episodes of Sex Education on Netflix. I was not that into it, actually. But the lady from that speaks French, I guess, and is the love interest. So, I was surprised by that. I didn't know she speaks French and can do that.
Yeah, good for her.
So.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her. Yeah.
Get to be in the definitive Eiffel Tower movie, because I doubt they're going to make another one of these, right? There's no competing Eiffel Tower movies out there.
What if there was? What if there were like 4 of them going up at the same time?
Right.
Yeah, what's the deep impact to this movie's Armageddon?
Yeah. Deep Eiffel. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm seeing in the synopsis that Eiffel wanted to build a subway first and then landed on a tower. I'm not sure how that works.
That was a real compromise.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if we took a subway, stripped it of all of its function, and turned it on its side? Yeah. Oh, I guess it's a tower.
2 stops. Stop 1, the ground. Stop 2, the top. Welcome.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's weird also to me that the person was named Eiffel and then they named it the Eiffel Tower. That seems lazy, but whatever.
I mean, he built it. I guess he gets to say.
Yeah, also, I just looked this guy up. I feel like such a dunce. You know what his other notable work is?
The Statue of Liberty.
The Hoover Dam.
I think Alex just said it. The Statue of Liberty. He made the Statue of Liberty.
The 2 things I do know about it are that this guy also worked on the Statue of Liberty with Bartolda, and then also they built this as a temporary structure, I think, for World's Fair, and then they kept it because everybody liked it so much. That's all I know about it.
Yes, it was made for the World's Fair. And they were like, that's a cool tower. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
Yeah, it is pretty dope, yeah.
Best subway I've ever been on. Yeah. You see a lot.
Yeah. Have you been to the Eiffel Tower?
I got to study abroad in college, and then we visited Paris for like 2 days, and that was one of the few things we did. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you got 2 days.
Yeah. Like that and the Louvre and a couple other things,
Sure. Yeah. All right. Well, any more thoughts on this Eiffel movie?
Nope.
It looks.
Yeah. It's. I think
it looks all
it was. Right. I think Tom, you were saying that it looks like really, really boilerplate history stuff, and it extremely feels that way. That's dead on. Yeah. It's just one of those historical movies, Sure.
Yeah, it hits all the beats.
It feels like one of those things where, like, when we do biopics about famous people, not all of them have interesting lives, but we still make the movie because we know people will watch them.
Right.
And it's just funny to me that, like, building the Eiffel Tower, we haven't made a movie about this before, and probably for a reason, because there's probably not much to it. I don't know. Or maybe it's like this crazy historical thing that people are like, why haven't they made a movie of this? It's filled with drama and this many people died making it. But I don't think that's it. At least that's not what this trailer is showing me, because it's so uninteresting that they had to give him a romantic subplot. And I don't know. Maybe that's real. Again, maybe that's actually what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
And I'll never know because I'm not going to see Eiffel. All right, let's talk about The Shrink Next Door.
Sure. You mean anger management?
Yeah, but with fucking Paul Rudd. What is going on in this?
Anger management / What About Bob?
I forgot about anger management. Wow.
Well, I want to start with the fact that this is a series on Apple TV. It's not a movie. I thought it was like a one-time movie, but we're gonna see tons of Paul Rudd doing that voice. He's doing a voice, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's doing a big old New York voice.
Yeah.
And he's like and Will Ferrell is his patient, I think, for some reason. Mm-hmm. I didn't get a lot of super specifics out of the trailer. I got a vaguely sinister vibe, I think, but maybe I misread it. I don't know.
It seems like Will Ferrell plays this kind of meek dude who goes to a therapist, Paul Rudd, who starts engaging in, let's say, dynamic / intense therapy techniques, which basically just means he's egregiously intruding on Will Ferrell's personal life, which is, I cheekily said anger management, but that's like literally the plot of that film. And also What About Bob? It's, I don't know. It looks okay. It feels like one of those kind of cringe comedies where I already know or I really heavily suspect what the twist is. Like, I'm really expecting it to be 100% anger management, where it's Jack Nicholson seems like just a complete maniac, and then at the end it's like, oh, nope, there was a method to his madness the whole time, and he's improved your life. Like, that's what I'm expecting.
Right. Yeah, I guess it depends on how many seasons they got going. For me, it gave me the vibe of like Reign Over Me. Remember Reign Over Me with Adam Sandler?
And Don Cheadle?
Yeah. Where his family died in 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah, a movie no one needed. But it has that feeling of like comedy actors being like, let's be serious. Let's do a serious thing. And I get that. It's got some names behind it. Michael Showalter directed a few episodes. Mm-hmm. The series writer also did Succession, or some of Succession, some of Veep. So, like, this could be good. But I know what you're saying, Tom, where it's like...
It just feels very derivative. There's a lot of talented people involved that I like, but...
Yeah, and so it's worth giving a shot if you have Apple TV, which, statistically speaking, you probably don't. But,
you might, man. They were giving that away for...
Yeah, that's true.
Just any excuse last year, so...
I purchased a new Apple product recently, and they actually gave away Apple TV to me now. So now I have it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, they truly are still giving it away.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the idea of Paul Rudd doing serious stuff. As the next comedian to be serious, because he hasn't really been that serious, has he?
I mean, we've had a couple of offshoots like Mute, which was a disaster.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
Mute. He was in Mute.
Yeah, that's
no.
There's a lot of good people in Mute too, and that film is very bad.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really seen. He's done some stuff, but it's mostly been comedic.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because he didn't. He's not. I don't think he specifically came from comedy. He's just an actor. But
well. Yeah, his early roles, like Clueless and shit, where he's still like kind of like a funny character, but he doesn't. And wasn't he in Romeo plus Juliet? Yeah, he was. I'm just seeing it right here. Yeah, he didn't start as like a comedy guy. He just like fell into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does make sense that he would
try some other things. I don't know.
Try some other things. Yeah. But I want like even.
Oh, and what was was it meme? He had that one where he was playing his own twin.
Oh, Living with Yourself.
Living with Yourself. There it is.
Yeah, on Netflix, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like,
also done.
He's dabbling. He's doing some dabbling.
I think I'm not going to say problem, but here's Paul Rudd's problem, and I put problem in quotes. Is that we love him just the way he is.
That's part of
what I mean?
It's part of why Mute doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think of like a movie like Our Idiot Brother. Remember that movie?
I never saw it, but I remember it coming out, yeah.
It has some good moments in it, and like it's there's these movies where he kind of branched out a little bit, and I feel like the world was like, no, just be Paul Rudd.
You be you.
We just want Paul Rudd.
Paul, no.
Yeah. Just be yourself, Paul Rudd. Just be yourself. That's all we want.
I'd say maybe 3 or 4 hours before I watched this trailer, I saw a clip of him on Conan doing the Mac and Me bit one more time. Like, that's what I want. I just want Paul Rudd to do the things I know about. And like,
just do the Mac
that
and Me.
repeating joke and stuff. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get some Mac and Me in this show.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean,
it was great. He comes in a tux and does like a double trick. It's the best. It's really good.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, more comedies.
Okay.
How It Ends is the next one here.
Oh sure. This one.
What do you guys think?
This one really confused me because it is just seeking a friend for the end of the world.
Yes.
With the weird additional hat of, instead of the main character spending the last day with another person, she's spending it with a metaphysical construct of her younger self, played by Kaylee Spaney.
Yeah, I don't know why they needed more stuff in this plot.
I don't know.
It is very confusing.
Is there also a comedy movie with a bunch of people in it called The End, with like Franco and Rogan and all them? That's a thing too.
Yeah,
This is the end.
This is the
end.
I don't know why there are all these movies where it's 15 people have heard of and the world's ending. I don't get it.
Well, all right. Here's what bothers me about this. This premise, because seeking a friend for the end of the world. This is the end. There's a Melancholia 444 with Willem Dafoe, and this. It's really weird to me that when we look at the subject of the end of the world from a entertainment standpoint, the answer was always like, yeah, we only need like an hour and a half to cover that. And specifically the end of the world as it pertains to saying goodbye and the psychological tolls. It's really weird to me that they've never made like a mini series about this premise. That's actually has time to explore how much of a mindfuck it would be. It's always like, 90-minute comedy. That should do it.
It's
and
always
it's that's weird.
Yeah, like this, and obviously I can't comment on the content of this film, but like what this film appears to be as it's representing itself in this trailer, seeking a friend for the end of the world, less so This Is the End, but still elements of it there. They're like very twee versions of the end of the world, which is fine, but like I really don't think like I'm done with a bunch of bits about the end of the world because I've seen this so many times. Like if we're gonna explore it, let's
actually explore it.
Yeah, this is a very tired bucket to me.
Yeah. And then
same.
444 Last Day on Earth, that was an hour and 22 minutes. That's a serious film.
Yeah.
Melancholia was probably a little more long, but those two kind of came out around the same time, so like that was the other end of it. But again, they're always, I don't know, it's weird to me that they do it on a small scale like this.
Right, it's like
and then they follow these weird similar patterns like you're talking about.
Right, it's like
we're talking about the end of the world. There's a lot that could be done with that.
Yes, I think this film and a lot of the films that we mentioned that are like it are so obsessed with the premise and the execution feeling novel that's as far as they go.
Yeah.
When neither the premise nor this execution is novel. So I'm just kind of like, okay, like what? Show me what else you got. Like I need something. I need a little bit more than like, you know, a big ensemble cast of funny people that I like having humorous encounters with each other with the end of the world as the backdrop. But I would like. I've seen that movie more than once now. I would like something different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Well, and
great cast though.
That's that. I also think I fundamentally don't want very many movies about this like tone and this like perspective. Like I'm not like this is like it's just so whimsical in a way that I don't need to see consistently at all. Like I don't have a big stomach for that.
Yeah, it's a little exhausting. This style. I mean, it all derives from like, and I'm looking at the poster, and sure enough, yellow background, like the Little Miss Sunshine poster.
Yeah.
Where it's like yellow means it's an indie. It's an indie comedy. If it's white, it means it's a family comedy or a romantic comedy. Like they love those things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should have known. Yellow
background.
Yep.
It's one of them. It's a yellow background, folks. It's got Finn Wolfhard in it.
I know.
So that's something.
This feels like a movie that came out 10 years ago. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I agree.
And it says,
I agree.
The pull quote on the poster says fresh and funny. Get right the fuck out of my face. Okay, I'm done talking about this movie unless anybody else has something to say.
It's got Tron Legacy's Olivia Wilde.
It has a great cast.
The Lazarus Effect's Olivia Wilde.
It has a great cast. I'm not disparaging its cast. I am tired of this premise and this execution of this premise.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do want to just say, and this is completely off topic, I can't wait for whatever fucking movie Olivia Wilde is directing next. I don't even know what it is.
Oh, yeah. That'll be cool.
After Booksmart. Yeah. I think all that needs to be said has been said. So let's move on to Annette, the Alan Rickman biopic. One assumes.
This is the second trailer for this that we've watched.
Yeah.
And the first time we watched it, Dave just commented on how it sounds like Adam Driver is just doing an Alan Rickman impression.
Yeah. And it continues.
That is a very funny
How much money
really
do you think
like it.
Do you think Adam Driver wakes up every day and finds a note on his door from Warner Brothers that says, anytime you want to play Snape, we're here? Like, anytime. We'll give you anything you want, Adam Driver. If you want to do
I think he's probably got those notes from Marvel, from DC, from Harry Potter. I think he just has standing offers from, like, every other franchise that he hasn't been in yet.
And he's like, I already did the Star Wars. I'm rich. I can do bullshit from here on. Weird bullshit like Annette, which I want to see.
Man.
Because, like...
Yeah, it's like a surrealistic drama about this comic who falls in love with an opera singer and they have a baby, and it may... I can't tell if it's literally changing the world or if it's just his perception of the baby's birth. But there's a lot of that in this trailer. It looks weird and cool and interesting. I hope that I remember. Like, I need to write this movie down so that I remember to watch it when it comes out. But this is a movie that I am in. I want to see this movie. This looks weird.
Alex, we said this on the last time we covered this. Can you guess what his character's occupation is in this movie?
Guess his occupation? He's on stages some of the time, I think, and then he's like in a big backyard. I know that's not an answer. I'm gonna. Did you say he was a comedian?
I think I gave it
Tom
away.
already gave it away?
Yeah.
He plays a stand-up comedian.
Oh yeah.
And like,
okay, so it's the Joker, basically. Great, really good DC movie. There we go. Joker 2.
I'm just
all I have are bad thoughts.
Just Adam Driver is like in his bummer Alan Rickman voice doing stand-up comedy. Like I would give anything to watch that live. That is a gift.
This is like
this movie.
This movie feels kind of beyond me, and not in a way that I'm mad about. I just think there's a lot going on that I haven't caught up to yet. You know, and that's okay.
No. Exactly. It's the director of Holy Motors, which is another movie that's like that, where it's just like you look at the trailer and you're like, Jesus Christ, I guess. Should I be high for this? I feel like I should be high for this.
What is this? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's doing its own thing. And
Yeah.
Sure. And it seems like they're like really passionate about doing whatever that thing is. Like they're not phoning it in or you know. This is like if they put out a trailer for the Suicide Squad and I was this confused by it, that would be exciting. That would be like, this is a really transgressive superhero movie. Like, great.
You're right. This is the real Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I love your energy with
Alex,
this. Of just they seem to be really committed to doing whatever the fuck this is.
It's like
so
a
good on them.
Very elementary school talent show judge. Whatever it is they're doing, they were really passionate about.
And it looks like technically cool. I don't know if it'll be cool, but like it seems like they. I'm not like just saying they know what they're doing to be nice. Like it seems like they really are good at this. So that's cool, you know. But it's not
just
for me, probably.
Yeah, it's just very funny. I'm looking at the synopsis. It takes place in L.A.
Sure.
He's a stand-up comedian. Yeah, I know. That's the first thing. L.A. And like I love that it starts with he is a stand-up comedian with an internationally renowned opera singer. So when you watch the trailer, you're like, okay, all this nice house and stuff, we clearly know where it's coming from. Like we don't really like this is not a true representation of being a stand-up comedian in LA, I feel like, right away.
Right.
Together, under the spotlight, they form a happy and glamorous couple. The birth of their first child, Annette, a mysterious girl with an exceptional destiny, will turn their lives upside down.
Oh, there's the shit you want to hear.
Yeah. First of all, technically speaking, all babies are mysterious, right?
Yeah, you don't know what they're about.
Exactly. They don't even know what they're about.
In a way, it's the ultimate mystery.
Yeah, exactly. But the exceptional destiny will turn their lives upside down. Fuck. What the fuck is this?
I don't know, man. Happen? I don't know, but I need to see board. Yeah,
maybe.
It looks weird.
Maybe it's like about fatherhood. That was my guess watching it. Was like it's some kind of extreme fable about how fatherhood feels. You know, that could work.
Yeah, but I
don't know.
I think it's definitely that's an element. That's going to be an element, right?
It seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I hope she's like. I hope it's. Oh, what if it is a Harry Potter? What if it turns out to be like she's the child is a wizard?
Yeah. You're a wizard. Or not.
Oh, yeah. Who the fuck can say that marketing for this? Unlike the Suicide Squad, I'm like, I need to see every trailer for this.
Mm-hmm. Show me them right now.
I need updates. Yeah, please.
Yeah. I need like a book when I sit down. Like, give me like one of those blue books that just has like all of the information I need. I'm gonna need some like slides before I sit down for this. Let's move on.
Candyman.
This, man, it's funny. This trailer came out this week. literally like a day after my coworkers at Collider and I were talking about, weird we haven't seen a new Candyman trailer, right? Because it comes out in like 2 months. And then, boom.
And here it is.
Did you say that 3 times or whatever about it appeared?
5 times, but no. I did not. I know better than that.
Yeah.
I'll let other people speak first.
Alex, are you a horror person? I forget.
No, not really. I can't. I just can't handle it well. But I think forever ago when I was on a Hypecast, there was like a teaser for this with just cut out picture art.
Yes.
And then now there's like, clips and characters and everything. And I know it's coming from an original movie called Candyman with the Candyman character.
Yes. And Jordan Peele is credited as a writer. I thought he was just a producer. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
It'll probably be good.
I grew up on Candyman, and so I am pretty goddamn psyched for this. The fact that Tony Todd is involved, I can't tell. This is in the original Candyman, he does show up often as just a voice.
Yes.
So it makes a lot of sense that you could just have Tony Todd play the character again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's like a passing of the torch, or rather the hook, which is actually what the original Candyman was. Yeah, so I assume they're just doing the original and they're updating it. But it's probably the same idea, right? It seems very close to it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And if it's exploring the same themes, that would make sense.
Right, because that's the other thing about Candyman is it explores a lot of themes of race, something that was completely lost on me growing up because I just wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
And then watching it as an adult, it's like, oh, shit.
It's a little subtle, but yeah.
It is, yeah, but it's still
it's
very
also
much
pretty there. Yeah. Pretty up front.
Yeah.
It's this. Man, this is an interesting. It's directed by Anita Costa. It looks great. It was supposed to come out last year, but it's been delayed almost a full year now. We've seen so much of it already, including that papercraft animated prologue that Alex was talking about, which is really, really cool. And is used in the film, as I understand.
I assume for flashbacks and shit, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about this movie because of two things. One is the fact that it comes out in a little less than 2 months, and we haven't really seen much marketing, which can be racked up to a lot of things. The weird year we had last year. I just mentioned this movie was supposed to come out like 11 months ago and it's been pushed back, so they've had to retool a lot of different marketing strategies. With all the other movies that I forget which studio this is, but everybody had to push stuff, and that affects everything. So that can be explained away by that. The other thing I'm nervous about is I have heard from people who have seen this movie that it's not good.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I know, right?
It's such a concrete piece of evidence. Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, everything looks so good, though. Like, all the elements are there. So I'm like, man, maybe those people are just wrong? I don't know. We'll see.
I like to believe they're wrong. I still have faith in Candyman.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I don't know. And this director is going on to do The Marvels.
Yeah, which one? Did she get the Captain Marvel sequel, I think?
I guess, but this is one of those things where, we're really, at this point, the movement from indie to make a Marvel film is
instant.
like that conveyor belt is so fast that they haven't even stopped to make sure the Candyman movie is going to do good.
Right.
They're just like, oh, you made a Candyman? Okay, yeah, let's do a Marvel. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
It's that same owl that gives Adam Driver a letter about Snape also stops by this director's house. Yeah.
Right. She goes outside, she checks the mail, she's like, shit, I have a Marvel. Okay. I guess we're gonna do that.
I got another one of Adam Driver's Rickman owls. Hold on.
Yeah. The worst version of Hagrid is here in a flying motorcycle to take me away.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'm gonna still have faith in Candyman just because I'm such a fan, and maybe I will be blinded by that when the movie comes out, and I'll just love it unconditionally. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think the original Candyman was super well reviewed when it came out too. So,
yeah, it's kind of they're slasher films. They're kind of cheesy. It always weirds me out that the score is done by Philip Glass, which just doesn't feel right to me. But it's a great fucking score.
Perfect score. It's in this trailer.
Yeah. It's one of those.
Wow.
I want to say it's one of those scores that almost is better than the movie, but I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's
Candyman.
true. Yeah.
It's one of those scores that you hear and you're like, this doesn't.
It's.
I would never think this is for a slasher film.
It's just one of those
like a slasher
horror.
horror.
It's just one of those things. It's a really good marriage of ideas because the score on its own, you're like, this is the score to Cat's weird, but when you watch it in the movie, you're like, this is spooky as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like the people who made the original Candyman were like way ahead of their time and really cool. Is that true? Like a racially sensitive, cool soundtracked slasher movie? That sounds pretty neat.
I think Clive Barker, it's something he wrote. I think laying that sort of acclaim at his feet is not unwarranted.
Cool.
Like he always seems like a pretty socially aware dude.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, the director of the original, Bernard Rose, hasn't really done anything that is on the same level as Candyman, which to me means that Clive Barker, was in charge there. Although I haven't seen the others, just he hadn't made the stuff I'm looking at. It's just like very unknown horror films. Something called The Devil's Violinist, which just sounds like a parody. And it's not a horror movie. It's a biography drama musical. Oh, that's exhausting.
Got a real Eiffel on her hands.
Yeah, this is the guy who should have gotten for Eiffel.
Let's move on.
Shit, hold on. Fuck. I thought I had one more thing to say about Candyman, but I guess I didn't. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's thank some more producers.
Let's do it.
Big thank you to the Kool-Aid Molotov says, "Fill me with the blood of your billionaires and drink deep, my brothers." Thank you. Thank you to E.T. Thank you to E.T.,
Sure.
the extravagant terresticle. Thank you to Cody Johnston's time machine noise. Always a pleasure. Thank you to Pete Vorpagel. Thank you. Thank you to Glitterous. Wonderful Glitterous. Thank you to Thanks for Having Jason Pargin on. Here's $25.
Woo.
Thank you. Thank you to the Midnight Patron. The Midnight Patron. What patrons at midnight? Thank you very much.
Let me jump in here. Thank you to Exploding Runes. Thank you to Andrew. Andrew, how?
Thank
you to Vincent with a Y.
Vincent.
Thank you to RevMD. Thank you to Dr. DNA.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lauren Gucci.
Thank you.
And thank you to Bootler Bootlesson. Gosh, man. The bootless one. So Dave, Alex, we got some Transformers news in here.
Yeah, we do. This is Transformers 7.
Yeah.
The title is revealed to be, let me get this right, Transformers Rise of the Beasts.
Yes. It's a Beast Wars movie.
So
yeah, that's another toy, right?
Yeah, it
Beast
was like
Wars?
the 90s. It was like the 90s Extreme iteration of Transformers, or one of them, rather. So you have Optimus Primal.
Yeah, they do.
No,
I remember the Beast Wars cartoon.
Oh, really? I'm not making that up.
Yeah. You guys remember the shitty CGI cartoon?
I remember. I didn't watch it, but I remembered it. Yeah.
I watched it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's not good, but I enjoyed it.
No, how could it be?
This is from, let's see, the director of Creed 2.
Okay.
I'm seeing here. Yeah, definitely okay.
I do know this is part of their Bumblebee strategy, where they're just like, let's try making one-off Transformers movies that could potentially become their own series in their own rights, and give them to more exciting filmmakers.
But this is being, it seems to be being called Transformers. 7.
Well, I mean, sort of. You're looking at the URL.
Yeah.
That's more like
Well, the IMDb is Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Yeah, that's more like the numeral 7 is more of like an SEO strategy for the website that wrote this article.
Right.
Because people aren't typing in Transformers: Rise of the Beast, they're typing in Transformers 7.
Right. The writer of this wrote the screenplay for Army of the Dead and is going to be writing the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. When I say the writer, I should note there are 6 credited writers.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
3 of them are credited for earlier scripts.
Mm-hmm.
So, man. Is it?
It's such a machine. Whole franchise.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah, right.
One of the other writers
They're
did
robots
Iron
in disguise, Alex.
Man. Yeah. Do we...
What if I was the last person who didn't understand what a
that?
Transformer is? Like, it blows my mind when the truck turns into a big guy.
But like it's like a legitimate, like horrifying experience, like that sort of mind blowing where your psyche just simply can't handle it. Watching Optimus Primal transform, you're like, nope.
Yeah, I don't like horror movies. I don't like Candyman. I don't like Transformers. I don't like...
Do we need this movie?
Do we need any movie, Dave?
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Like, we're going to get it. I
get very G.I. Joe Snake Eyes feels where it's like, I'm not against the movie, but I don't know why after all these years they would think it's a good idea to... Like, I feel like the world is like, we're all set. But maybe not.
We'll see. That's why they're branching out into some weird shit like Beast Wars. Like, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Also, the movie
Optimus Prime a gorilla in Beast Wars?
He's Optimus Primal. How many times are you guys going to make me say it?
Right.
Also, this movie takes place, I believe, in 1994. So they're really doubling down on the Bumblebee strategy.
Okay, so it's like a weird prequel to all the shit we already watched?
Yeah, again, they're doing their let's do these one-offs, giving them to filmmakers who are a little more exciting than Michael Bay, and see what they do with it. It can be its own thing, or it can just, if it doesn't do the numbers we need it to, it can just be this one-off movie that we made one time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Rise of the Beast Wars.
Sure.
Or Rise of the Beast. There's something, I guess, all right, I think I know what's bothering me. Rise of the Blank feels very...
Oh, yeah, that is throw a dart at a fucking target. And any producer's office, Rise of the X is on it.
Here's what
Rise of the Eiffel Tower, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Rise of the Eiffel Tower.
Here's what
I mean, it's what it does.
What made Bumblebee enjoyable was that it, like, they actually gave a shit. And they used the only Transformer we liked or that we emotionally connected with, and they basically made E.T.
Yeah.
This seems to me to imply like another big, loud, they're all going to fight each other in a city. And like that's going to go horribly wrong.
That's going to suck if that's the case. Yeah, maybe it'll be something like Gremlins. I don't know. We'll just...
I don't know.
I'm trying to move past the point of begrudging that a thing exists because, like, what's the point?
It's not begrudging. It's being very skeptical.
Oh, for sure.
That this thing can work the way.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was more just continuing a line of thought that began earlier when you were like, "Why does this exist?"
Right.
Yeah. It's like when I drive past a factory. Like, yeah, that's doing stuff, and it probably keeps the economy going. Like, that's how I feel about the existence of this.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
right.
this movie's going to employ
economy.
2,000 people, sure.
Yeah, right. That's cool. Yeah.
I mean, and
if it's not Michael Bay, then
and nobody,
it might not hurt anyone.
Yeah, nobody on the ground making Beast Wars is like, yeah, let's polish this turtle. Like, nobody's down there like giving each other high fives to go make a big piece of shit. Like, they want to make a movie that's good.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see how that happens. I don't know.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
To them.
Yeah. No.
Maybe don't have Mark Wahlberg in it. I don't think they will. I bet they. Who was it? John Cena.
It was John Cena.
Yeah, that's an upgrade.
That's an
upgrade. Put him in there. Yeah. So we have our Snow White casted. This is Rachel Zegler. Is that the name? What has she done?
She's not yet in West Side Story. That's going to be her big. That's like poised to be her big thing.
Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's also in Shazam, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is more of like, for me, the realization of like, oh, okay, now they're doing Snow White.
Yeah, they were going to get to it eventually. It's whatever.
It's directed by Mark Webb, who did The Amazing Spider-Man.
500 Days of Summer.
500 Days of Summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I already know exactly what this is going to look like.
It's going to look like Snow White and the Huntsman, only it's going to adhere much closer to the Disney movie.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's going to look like that because that has that like weird 2000s, mid-2000s gray gritty look.
Well, look at all the other fantasy live-action Disney remakes. I will bet you actual money that is exactly what this film ends up looking like.
See, I think it's going to look more like Lion King.
Maybe.
More dream-like bullshit where it's all on a green screen. The dwarves are all going to be a CGI. Some fucking comedians doing the voices. You know what I mean?
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see Snow White and the Huntsman.
It will be Snow White and the Huntsman.
I think that's of an era, though. That's of the... Remember the Jack and the Beanstalk movie?
Jack the Giant Slayer.
Yeah, it's that era and the Wizard of Oz one that Sam Raimi did, where they all looked the same back then. I think this is going to look more like an Aladdin clone, you know? It's going to have that. Oh, like it's all going to be samey.
Yeah. It just the cool palette, quote unquote, has already been so established for like modern fantasy though that if it doesn't look like that, I refuse to believe that it won't look like that.
All right.
We'll see.
Should we make a gentleman's bet?
Sure.
All right.
If this doesn't
the winner
look
gets
like
the dwarves, they live with you.
They come live with me. And make all 7 of my beds, as it so happens. I just happen to have.
One for every day. That makes sense.
Exactly. I just moved to a new one. If it somehow looks different than Lord of the Rings legend Snow White and the Huntsman, I will give you something.
All right. A hearty handshake.
Yeah.
I just give you. Yeah, let's do
Alex was here to witness it.
Yeah, Alex is a witness. The agreement is on. Now let's race around the world.
Yeah. Have you cut your hand open? I just cut my hand open to seal it.
Oh yeah, but it was unrelated.
Oh, okay.
I just do that when we record this show.
Final bit of news. This is just this isn't really news. It was just in an interview. Spielberg or somebody recently revealed that Universal obviously went to him and floated a Jaws reboot, and he was like, "Nope."
This is like
that's the story.
Yeah, this is like a standing. This has been known for a while. They know, Universal knows they're never going to reboot Jaws, and they're never going to officially reboot Jurassic Park while Spielberg is still alive.
Yeah, and then there's Zemeckis and Back to the Future.
Yeah, they won't let that happen. They just will say no until they die.
But like. Why reboot Jaws?
Because they're rebooting literally everything. And I guarantee you, the instant Spielberg passes away, a Jaws reboot and an official Jurassic Park reboot will be greenlit.
Yeah. I stand by my do the Westworld Jurassic Park, do a miniseries.
Yeah, that's what I would want to see, yeah.
That
would be good.
Jaws feels less...
They kind of nailed it. I mean, he kind of nailed Jurassic Park too.
Yeah, but there's room for Jurassic Park.
There's room for Jurassic Park.
The source material.
Yeah, the source material for Jaws sucks. So
you don't want to do that.
They kind of.
I don't need a scene where fucking
really did the best they could with that book.
Yeah, I don't need a scene where
that was published in serialized form in Playboy magazine. Like they kind of.
I don't need a scene where Quint sleeps with Brody's wife.
That's Hooper.
Which is Is that Hooper?
It's Hooper.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's even weirder.
Quint doesn't fuck anybody
That
but
happens
the
in
sea.
the book?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The book's terrible.
The book is real bad.
It's terrible.
It's like it's so meandering and schlocky, and it feels grimy reading it. Like it feels like you got it out of a vending machine in a bathroom that also sells condoms. Like that's like the kind of it's just
Sure, yeah.
it's a very unpleasant book.
Yeah, you put in a quarter, you get a condom. You put in 2, you get a copy of Jaws.
Jaws by Peter Benchley.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but
man,
also,
I wanted 2 condoms. Man.
Yeah.
I wanted another condom.
I guess I can try to use this somehow as a condom.
Yeah, I guess I can roll up this copy of Jaws.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
I wanted to I wanted to have sex twice. Now I gotta read.
But can you imagine the nightmare of being like a screenwriter and they're like, all right, we're giving you Jaws reboot. It would just be like, okay, so I guess I'll copy and paste the script from Jaws. It really is like
That's probably the most honorable action at that point. Is to just
Exactly. You would just do what they did with Night of the Living Dead, with for some insane reason
Psycho?
Cabin Fever. Psycho,
Psycho.
where you you literally just take the same script and film it with different actors.
Yeah, it'd be like, here you go.
I think that'd be the only way people would accept a Jaws reboot.
Yeah, which bothers me because I think the world is open for a Jaws sequel.
Yeah, make a sequel, you fucks.
Make Jaws 5. Who gives a shit?
I don't give a fig. Yeah.
You say good sequel. It doesn't even have to be that.
Oh.
Right. No, yeah.
Because if you're making Jaws 5, you lean into the sequels, I think.
Yeah, I've long said that one of my ambitions, one of my goals, pie in the sky goals, if I ever stumble into just a whole lot of money, is to remake Jaws 3 specifically.
Yeah. Because that's a standalone film. Like, that film doesn't actually fit into the canon.
No, it doesn't. And it also has the Ocean's 11 thing of, like, you can't really screw up if you're remaking a bad movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, well, if you mess up, what is it? Well, now we've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Now they both suck.
Yeah. Jaws 3 has some special moments.
Well, of course, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. You need the Dennis Quaid rampage scene.
Where he is on record in an interview admitted that he was so snowblind on coke that entire shoot. I mean, it comes through in that meltdown performance where he's just sprinting through SeaWorld like a lunatic.
Great film. Alex, when's the last time you watched Jaws 3?
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, man. Too long.
Man.
Too long.
Yeah.
Too long. Yeah.
I think you guys showed me the 4th one.
We
I don't think I've seen the 2nd or the 3rd one.
We definitely...
It's Michael Caine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There was an evening at Cracked House when Robert gifted Dave like a 5-gallon jug of tequila from Mexico.
Yeah.
And we...
the DVD was inside. Yes, I remember.
Dave drank that out of a bowl while we watched Jaws the Revenge.
I don't recall this, but it sounds correct.
No, you don't recall it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we watched Jaws the Revenge under those specific circumstances.
It's funny how Jaws 2, in my opinion, is the worst Jaws sequel, even though it's the best one technically.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's competent.
It was still trying to be a real movie.
Right, and if I need to watch one of those, I'll watch Jaws.
Watch Jaws, yeah.
Yeah. If I want to watch something batshit, I'll watch 3 or 4. So there's no place for 2 in my heart.
Right, it's not out of its mind enough. It's trying to play it too straight still, which is like, no, we got one of those. The only reason to do a Jaws sequel is to go out of your goddamn gourd with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's movie news. Should we thank some more patrons?
I think we should.
Alrighty. Big thanks to Tux. Thank you so much, Tux. Thank you to Ricky Cilantro. Woo. Thank you very much. Thank you to Norm from Cheers. Thank you. Norm. Thank you to Space McNulty.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you to Oh Great It's that guy.
Woo.
Thank you. Thank you to Nolan Mayton. Thank you to Vaccinated Man Andrew McGuire.
Nice work.
Yeah. Thank you to AJ. And thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Gross. Let me
delicious.
jump in here. Thank you to Burrito Mouth. Thank you to Mrs.
you.
Voitis. Thank you to the ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank
you to Aaron Burser.
Thank
you to David Knife Boot Henson,
Knife
MBA CPA. Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick chill.
And it is.
That is an Antichrist reference for everybody who didn't listen last week. Thank you to Vaccinated Jay.
Thank you.
And last but not least, thank you to Pie Guy.
Pie Guy.
Now, Dave, this is the part of the episode where I normally very aggressively slap whatever it is you're holding out of your hands.
It's my blood in this case.
Right.
Okay, so do
Be
that.
careful with
do
your
that.
cuts, yeah.
Pretend like I'm there and just throw your blood down.
All right.
Like it was poison. Like I ran in the room and noticed you were about to drink your blood, and I was like, "No, Dave, your blood is poison." And I galloped across that short distance and slapped your hands away, saving your life.
Got it.
You owe me now. You owe me a life debt now.
Got it.
Do you have a movie that deserves more hype?
I do.
Oh shit! What is it?
Fuck. Oh boy. This is called Strawberry Mansion.
Yes.
It currently has an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. No release date yet. This is hitting up the festivals. It just got purchased. It looks really fucking weird. It's about a dream tax auditor, which is a character who goes house to house and has to audit people's dreams to see if they have any hidden expenses. Obviously, this doesn't take place in our world. It's set in 2035, which feels like an arbitrary date, whereas like it, whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes into this older lady's dreams, has to stay there for days because she's like has a lot of dreams that apparently need to be audited. He meets the younger version of herself in the dreams, starts to fall in love. Meanwhile, there's like a weird other plot where the authorities get involved and they want to steal something in her dreams or a technology so that they can invade people's dreams with marketing, much like Futurama.
Yeah.
So this is a weird fucking movie is the point. And if you watch the actual trailer, you'll see what it really appealed to me, which is that the special effects is fucking wild. It's very indie.
Yeah, it looks like what this makes me think of is Brazil by way of Pee-wee's Playhouse, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
it's
wow.
like it's stop motion animation. It's very 70s effects. It's people in costumes playing like giant monsters, models, stop motion, and it's just looks very Brazil-like. The sets
In the concept.
the concept, the devices, like the technology.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's clearly a movie that visually knew exactly what it needed to be, and really seems like they nailed it in the trailer. As for the plot, who the fuck knows? It's very Michel Gondry. It's very...
It's, like, so abstract. It's, like, the movie looks interesting, but the story is almost too abstract for me, so I'm not sure how good this movie's going to be. We'll see.
Yeah, Alex, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it feels... I am really excited to have seen this trailer. I don't know. It feels very whimsical, but in an on-purpose way where it's still about something, too. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's like that that Yet Again End of the World whatever movie. I wish it was like this, the trailer-wise.
Yes.
Then it would be exciting.
It doesn't... Yeah, this manages to not be like that twee element that people have complained about on this podcast a lot, where it doesn't look like it's like... I like Wes Anderson, but it doesn't look like it's that direction. It's hard. It's a weird distinction, but again, it looks more Michel Gondry.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of a little earlier than Wes Anderson, and I find Michel Gondry's style to be more tolerable. because it's more impressive, you know? At least to me. So there's just something about this that, I don't know, it really speaks to me. It looks really weird and really fun. And even if none of it makes sense, it's definitely going to be visually beautiful. So there's that.
Yeah.
People should definitely check out the trailer because it's a very visual one. It's not one you can really describe on a podcast.
Yeah, and the story is so high concept that it's just like I don't even really understand it. But it's a very impressive trailer.
Yeah, it feels high concept, but it always also feels like it's throwing it away with the auditing, the tax auditing dream, where they're taking this whimsical technology and using it for something dreadfully mundane, which is where the Brazil
That's
of it
the
all
Brazil,
comes.
yeah, the metaphysical as
or the Douglas Adams,
very bureaucratic and dull.
Yeah, and that's something that personally gets me every time. I started watching Loki, and it's like I don't even care what the plot is. The aesthetic is
the
just
vibe of that show.
Yeah, and I love that vibe, even when it's done badly. And I'm not saying it's done badly in Loki, but like it's a delightful vibe. So yeah, check out the trailer, folks. Do it now.
Yeah, do it
while supplies last.
Mm-hmm. And I hadn't heard of any of
trailer.
the people involved in it either. So everybody's new to me.
Neither have I. Yeah.
Yeah. No, these are all new names and faces to me.
Yeah, and that's neat.
Yeah, it's doubly impressive.
I think it's just very indie. I think it's just, I don't know. I think that might be why.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of unfamiliar faces. I don't think they could get like a big celebrity to be in it.
No, and that would probably be distracting. But who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Oh man, what was the name of that again? One last time.
Oh, Strawberry Mansion.
Strawberry Mansion.
Strawberry Mansion.
Yeah, good to feel hype.
The director who's also in it. Actually, both directors are in it. Should note that they're actors. They, one of them was in VHS. She Dies Tomorrow. Like they've shown up in things in this.
Oh, okay.
Kind of a similar group as like, you know, the Your Next guy. Fucking
Ty West. Oh no, wait.
Yeah.
No, Your Next is
Ty West
Wingard.
is all.
Ty West. Is
but Ty West is all in.
Yeah.
You're Next.
Yeah.
It's that same group, the Amy Simets and like so. I kind of trust that weird group of friends that are all making movies.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I don't know. There's something about this that makes me feel safe.
Okay, I'm fully on board. I'm fully on board now.
Okay.
Yeah, we got there. We got there,
We
baby.
did it. We did it.
Speaking of which, we got to the end. That's a so.
Woo!
Oh man, guys, we did it. Congratulations
Alex.
all around.
Great.
Alex, thank you so much
Yes,
for being
thank you so
on.
much for doing it,
man.
Alex.
Anytime, every time. Thank you, guys. It was great.
Of course. Where can we find you? Do you have anything to tell the world? Any statements?
Make them
Do you
as
have a statement?
incendiary as possible. If you have a manifesto you'd like to read,
Yeah.
now's the time
This
to do
is
that.
your time. This is your time.
Yeah, the floor is yours, man.
man.
Go nuts.
Now I need to lead a movement. I hadn't even thought of doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I make a podcast called Secretly Incredibly Fascinating, and I'm very proud of it. And I think you'll really like it. It's about taking something seemingly ordinary, finding the history, science, and lore that make it amazing. And an extra good episode recently featuring Dave and Tom, where we talk about cat food and the history of it and
That's
everything else.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
That's
awesome.
fun.
And eating it.
And we have all eaten it, yeah.
We have all we
Yeah.
didn't eat it for the show. We just had all happened to have eaten cat food.
And it's delicious.
I mean, it's
Right?
fine. It's
Delicious.
it's not even technically edible.
Not totally good.
You shouldn't eat it. This is where we landed at on the
delicious.
episode, Dave. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, you shouldn't eat
It's a
the
thing you
delicious
it's a thing you shouldn't
forbidden
eat.
food.
No matter
Don't
how
eat it.
tempting.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, right.
yeah.
But I'm very proud of that. sifpod.fun to find the Patreon, and then all the episodes you can just search the word secretly. That'll usually lead it to you in your podcast player.
Ooh.
Nice.
Everybody do
corner
that.
in that word, man.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Work it out.
Quality adverb real estate. Or adjective,
That
I
is
guess that would be. Dave, why don't you tell them about what we got going on?
Geez. We have our own Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. If you go on there, you find exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, and our new one, Star Trek The Next Futurama. Those are all in there. We watch movies with our patrons every Friday night. That's tonight.
We sure do.
If you're watching this on Friday. So check all that out. Also, the new trailer for Halloween Kills just came out.
It did,
Sorry.
Right as we were recording.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's in October anyway, Halloween. It's my understanding of that holiday. So
yeah, how dare they? Halloween. Cheeky ass Halloween. We also have a store, tpublic.com/stores/gamefullyunemployed, where you can get t-shirts, masks, mugs, stickers, posters, all kinds of things. So check that out if you would.
Check it out.
Check it out.
You love it. You love us.
All right. Let's be done. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
bye.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.